One of the nice things about Moodle is that it allows you to add interactive activities to your course and not just static resources like web pages or PDF files and other static files. And when we're adding content to the course, always the first thing that we remember that we have to do is to turn editing on. And to add an assignment, which is going to be the first type of activity we're going to look at, we just, as always, go to the blue Add an Activity or Resource button. Click on it, and you'll see that assignment is the very first type of activity that you can add. And there's several different types of assignments that you can add. One is an offline assignment where the student will complete the work outside of the website and pass it in to the teacher outside of the website, and then the teacher goes ahead and adds that grade to Moodle. The second is an assignment where students will actually type their answer directly into a text box in Moodle. And then the third type is where a student will upload a file or a video clip or whatever type of electronic file that would represent the student's work on that assignment. So we're going to look at the second two of those today. So when you click Add, you can then, the first thing you're going to do is type your title of the assignment in, and this is going to be a test assignment. And I'm just going to type the question in the description box. Please look at the table below and provide an explanation for the differences between the net migration rate and the natural population increase. And I'm going to add a graphic for this. I'm going to choose that file, population change table, upload that. That should appear there. And then you have a whole variety of choices that you can select that provide the context for your assignment. And the first one is when that assignment is going to be available. So you select first of all, the opening date for the assignment, when that assignment will first be available to students. And then second, the closing date or the due date for that assignment, when that assignment should be handed in by. And you can actually give a little bit of an extension by adding one of these cutoff dates, but if you don't, it will cut off at the 12th of September at midnight. Now, you can also add a remind to grade by, so that if you're giving yourself, say, a week, 3 days, whatever it is, to grade that, you would set this maybe a couple of days before that, or at the very least at that cutoff grading date. Next, submission types. And as I said, there are several types of submission types. If you want a completely offline assignment, you would just unclick online text and file submission, which would mean that the student would have to submit the assignment outside of the Moodle website. If you want them to submit files, click on Submit Files, and you can actually set a size limit for those files, and you can set a limit on how many, or a bar on how many files they can submit. So if this is set at 2, it means that the students can submit a maximum of 2 files. We're going to set it back to 1. And finally, if you select online text, and note you can select file and online text if you want, but if you select online text, you can also select a word limit number if you want to limit your students to a specific word limit. That's up to you. Note that if you're doing file submissions, you can also set file types, PDF, etc., etc., etc. We're not going to be doing this one, we're going to be doing online text, so we don't need to select those. Feedback types is the next option that you have, and it gives you a variety of different opportunities to provide feedback to the student. I'll let you take a look at those yourself, but one of the ones that I'm going to include is inline commenting, which will allow me to comment right in the student's document. Submission settings will refer to whether you require students to do certain things before doing the assignment. Require them to click a submit button, not so critical. I'm actually going to include that they will be required to accept the submission statement. And the submission statement says something like, I affirm that this is my work and no one else has helped me with it, blah, 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 that sort of thing. I'm going to submit yes for that. And attempts reopened, that is whether a student can redo the assignment until they pass. You have to reopen the assignment or it is going to never be reopened. If you select to automatically until pass, you can also select a maximum number of attempts for them to be allowed to take it until they pass. Group submission settings are exactly what it sounds like, and that is to set parameters around the exercise if the groups will submit the assignment together. And to do that, you have to set up groups in your class first. Notifications, you can notify the graders or you can notify students. And common module settings, restrict access, and activity completion. All of these are things that are common to all of the different activities, and we're only going to look briefly at the activity completion. I'm going to put show activity is complete when conditions are met, and I am going to put that they must submit the activity to complete it. So those are the different components that you can contextualize or customize your assignment using. Once you've done all of that, you can actually display the assignment or you could return to the course. And so this is what you would see for if you clicked on the assignment. You could click here to see the table. It'll pop up, oh, it's downloading, so I don't want it to download. Maybe what I should do next time is actually to include this image directly in the text. One way or the other. Now this allows me to view all submissions. For students, it will actually allow them to submit the submissions. So just a quick review. First of all, turn editing on, put your title in, introduce the assignment, select when it's going to be available, what type of assignment it's going to be, online text, file submission, or offline, word limit, feedback types, submission settings, and then group submission settings and the rest of these that are common to the other assignments. So that's the Moodle assignment. It's a great tool, and one of the things that we haven't looked at is how we grade this. And the default is set to grade it in a 100-point scale. You can change that to whatever number you want, but you can also set this to other types of scales. You can set it to a scale that provides a competency, or you can set it to not having a scale at all. Then the thing is not going to be graded. Let's put it back to point, because we're also going to look at the grading method. So currently it's simple direct grading, and what that means is you're going to read through the assignment and give it a mark out of 100 or whatever it is. But you also have the opportunity of using a marking guide or a rubric. And we're not going to look at this, how to set that up right now, but we'll look at those in other videos. Finally, if you set up grade categories, you can select them here and select a passing grade for that assignment. That's it. I hope that this helps.